Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we do special commentaries that you don't hear on the No Spin News, my daily radio and television broadcast, which you can access on BillO'Reilly.com. So tonight, or today, I should say, worldwide, I want to talk about the corporate media. And the most common question that I get is, why is it so liberal? And what is the formula behind that? And that's a very good and interesting question. So I've been in the corporate media for 50 years, 50. And the joke is I started when I was 10 years old, you know, that kind of thing. But now I'm not. Now I'm an independent guy. And that's why I'm here on YouTube channel. But I've worked for CBS and ABC and syndication and Fox News, you know. I've seen it all. I know it all. The phrase, he's a know-it-all, my picture is next to that. So let me try to explain this. The media has always been something where very well-educated people gravitated toward. And at the network level in America, it was Ivy Leaguers like New York Times, Washington Post, and the newspaper industry, CBS, ABC, NBC. And it was very, very elite as far as management was concerned. So they look at your resume, and if you have Nassau County Community College, yeah, okay. But they're like Harvard, Princeton, Cornell. Hey, look at this guy. Those people, generally speaking, come from liberal homes. All right, very well-educated homes. They have a wider point of view on a lot of things, that kind of thing. Now, obviously, there's a generalization, but it is true. It is true. So when the media really started to operate, beginning at the Kennedy-Nixon debates, that was the first point where television news really rose up and everybody was glued to it. You had the Cronkites, and you had the Brinkleys, and the John Chancellor, and Harry Reasoner, and all of the early guys. Most of them were liberal, but not crazy liberal. But their bosses were liberal. And so they towed the line. And then as the Vietnam War got out of control, the left really dug into television news. I arrived on the scene at CBS around 1980. And I was not an ideological guy. I was a reporter. But I knew the environment. So I'll give you an example. Dan Rather is and was a very, very liberal man. And I had to report to Dan Rather when I was a correspondent at CBS News. And he made no bones about it. He was left. And he tilted his coverage that way. I didn't like that, and I left CBS after a short time. I wound up at ABC News a couple of years later, and it was different over there. Peter Jennings was a liberal man, but he did not want ideology in his hard news presentation. I love Jennings. I mean, I didn't care what he was in his private life. He was a newsman, solid, and I learned so much from him. It was so much different at ABC News back then than it was at CBS. And that's all changed now. ABC News is very liberal now. They run The View, okay? But today, you have the remnants of the people that started in the 1960s because executives hire in their own image. So when Roger Ailes was putting together the Fox News channel, he looked for traditional people like Brit Hume and Charles Krauthammer. Not me so much, because I was always an independent. But he wanted to staff it with those kind of people, believing that they were underrepresented in television news. And it worked magically for the Fox News channel. Today, outside of Fox News and Newsmax, News Nation is as independent as you'll get. ABC, NBC, CBS, very left-wing. PBS, NPR, very left-wing. And that's just the way it is. And it's not going to change. The culture is liberal.